welcome to another edition of Yorkshire Kris Weekly. We've had some pretty cold temperatures in the last week. We had 2 nights down to -3.5 to -3.8 where everything was completely frozen solid. We've also had a very mild day on Friday, up to 11-12 degrees, and now Sunday it's very cold in the air and very windy. We're looking at gale force winds over 50 miles an hour later this afternoon. So what I'm going to do in this episode is just take a look around the garden and actually just talk about where I actually buy my plants from. So let's take a look. So let's have a look. I have this loquat which I bought from the Harrogate Flower Show. You can buy that from quite a lot of online nurseries as well. Don't normally see it in garden centres. Trachycarpus nova, this came from Euro Palms, which is no longer selling, I believe. Got a nice Phagesia bamboo from a local garden centre. This Yucca variegator, Gloriosa variegata from a local garden centre. This Butia erispatha came from Urban Jungle a number of years ago. And actually all these other plants came from Urban Jungle. So I've got the Pseudopanexes and the Chilean lantern tree there as well. They're from Urban Jungle. And if we go across the nice blue bamboo, the Brinda 1046, that came from eBay. So I don't know who the seller was. The tree ferns, a few of these tree ferns came from Sea Graves that do the imports over winter, and they normally sell them in sort of Easter time. Got this Scheffler from the Duchy of Cornwall. The Polycarpa came from Krug. This here, this came from a local garden centre, this Trachycarpus. It's a very small scrawny plant, and it's grown into a big impressive Trachycarpus palm now. All the ferns came from local garden centres. This Scheffler here, this is Scheffler gracilis. And this came from here. And then we've got Mahonia soft caress, that came from local garden centre. We've got the Fatsahedra, came from Urban Jungle. The Akuba came from local garden centre. All these Phagesias here, Phagesia robustas, these all came from Scottish bamboo. The Fatsias, the variegated ones, and Annalise, these came from local garden centres. Fatsia Mosseri, that came from eBay. The Martianus, Trachycarpus martianus, that came from Canarius plants from the Canary Islands. And the Princeps hybrid, that came from Hardy Palms. Some of these were from Friends and Swaps. The Princeps, that was from Canarius plants as well, in the Canary Islands. Along with the Latisectus. The Latisectus came from Amulri, which no longer operates. A lot of my plants came from Amulri originally. It was a really good nursery that closed a few years ago. This great big tree fern that's covered up came from the Tropical Plant Company in Lancashire. The Butia catriensis, that came from Hardy Palms as well, down in Bristol. What else we got? The Mule Palm, that came from Hardy Palms. Obviously a lot of plants are dormant, so you can't see them at the moment. The Miscanthus, that came from Urban Jungle as well. Let's go over the bridge. This Yucca recurvifolia, that was here It's the only plant that survived from the original garden. Everything else was cleared out, but this one stayed. Those more princeps. Princeps, I also got some princeps as well as from Canarius. Some princeps, because there's about 7 or 8 in the garden, came from my palm shop in Holland. This came from Amalray as well. This is a Chimerops with 1 trunk. So it's Chimerops, I think, arborescence. Now the big Jabea, that actually came from Athelis plants. I'll put the name on the screen there. Down, I think, in the south of England. Bamboos. So this bamboo came from a local garden centre again. You can get lots of plants from local garden centres. Same with this. This was absolutely small, tiny, little, weedy little palm. This Trachycarpus fortunei from a local garden centre. Got it in a half-price deal. Jumping around here. eBay plants like this potato vine, and also the chocolate vine. And the passion flower just came from Asda for about £1. A Rhododendron, that one came from Urban Jungle again. The aloe here, that came from a Facebook friend there. And same with the polyphilla, which is still doing okay down there. That was gifted to me. Now this bed here, we've got the yucca and the Dasylirion. They came from hardy palms as well. And the Chimerops, that was a small plant from a local garden centre just down the road. Same with the phormiums and the black bamboo. This was gifted by a friend. Milianthus, that came from Amalray a long time ago, about 10 years ago now. And I've also got Jungle Giants, where I got this parvifolia bamboo. Bryia amata, a local garden centre again. And this Yucca rostrata was in the houseplant section in the local garden centre in a half-price sale. This Volcano, this one came from my palm shop. Same with the agave in there as well. And this Cerifera came from the Palm Centre down near London. Hardy palms for this Yucca linearis. This came from Jungle Seeds, this boutia, as a tiny seedling, and now it's a great big plant. Doing really well, my favourite boutia in the garden at the moment. Musa Baju from a local garden centre about 10, 11, 12 years ago now. Still hasn't flowered, as mentioned before. What else we got? Got some cannas. Some were from Heart Canna, but this one was from Urban Jungle again. Under there is a Trachycarpus aureophilus, which came from it didn't come from my palm shop. That came from Amalray a long time ago as well. It's hard to remember where everything came from, actually, thinking about it, of the collection over the last sort of, well, 15 years or so. Scottish bamboo is where I got some of my other bamboos here, like this Vivax. But this came from independent seller on eBay. This Gigantea, Gigantea. Other ones came from Amalray and Scottish bamboo. All these tree ferns, these came from the Tropical Plant Company in Lancashire. I do loads of tree ferns, including some nice double-headed ones, like this one here. eucalyptus came, well, this one here came from the local garden centre, but the others, so the reginans here, this one came from Grafton nurseries. The gunnii came from a local garden centre. It's amazing to think these were like 30 centimetres tall when planted 6 years ago, and now they're huge. Obviously the Princeps hybrids, which there's loads of them in the garden, as you can see there, and there, and across there. They come from hardy palms. Phylostachus atroviginata, that came from the local garden centre as well. Tetrapanax came from Amalray. And that's pretty much all the big plants in the garden. I see it's getting really windy now. It's very cold. And that's the end of the video. Just a little quick run round today. Just thought I'd share, because loads of people keep asking where I get my plants from, so I thought I'd share where I get most of my bigger plants from. And then loads of the smaller plants I either grow from seed or I get from cuttings and share them about from social media and share with Facebook friends. Right, it's freezing, I'm going to get inside. See me next week when we do another episode of Yorkshire Kris Weekly.